Outdoors. So we're out here on a little bush trip. It's the 1st of 2021 today. Hopefully it's a lot better than 2020 was. But you can see behind me I've got Hanu out here with me. And so I'm going to take you guys and have you tag along with me into the woods here. And I'm going to show you some of the things I've been working on with Hanu since my last video that I put up. Sorry I haven't been putting a lot of stuff up on YouTube lately. I had a lot of life-changing events come about. I've moved locations. I don't live where I used to. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. And let's get after it. Come on, go. Here. So, heel is one of the things I've been working on with Hanu. He's actually doing, sorry about that. Heel is one of the things I've been working on with Hanu. He's actually doing excellent at heel. And I wanted to show you there are some leash commands. And I don't think I mentioned this in my last video. So let me back up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see. Come on, heel. First off, for your thumb, right? Pull the slack over like this. This is how you hold your leash. Now, when you're heeling your dog, if he gets too far out in front of you, you want 2 tugs towards the back. And that'll slow him down. You want to say no heel and 2 tugs towards the back. Same if he's too far behind you, no heel. Tugs towards the front. If he's too far to the side, 2 tugs towards the side. Same thing if he's too close to you. If he's too close to you like this, 2 tugs out that way. Those are the basic leash commands that you need to use. Up.
Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Here. Here. Whoa. Nope. Up. Whoa. Here. On it. Here. Nope. Up. Heel. Heel. Up. No, up. Good boy. Honey, here. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Here. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. No. Whoa. Whoa. Good. Here. Here. Come on. Here. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. No. Whoa. Good. No. Whoa. Good. No. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Here. Whoa. Whoa. Come on. There you go. Whoa is another command I've been working on with Hanu. Now, whoa is basically the same command as sit, except it's in the standing position. You should not say the word stay. So you should not tell your dog sit and then stay, or whoa and then stay. It's contradicting itself. You're technically giving the dog 2 commands when you do that. So you're actually confusing the dog. So if you tell them to sit, they should sit until you give them another command. You should not have to use the word stay. Same goes for the command whoa. You know, if you're telling them to whoa, they should stay in that standing position until you give them another command. Now Hanu, he's doing pretty good. He's not even 6 months yet. He'll be 6 months the 6th of January, which today is the 1st of January. So he's doing really good for being under 6 months old. He's already picked up on whoa. We've only been working on whoa for a couple days. We've been doing a lot of working on heel, some more of working on sit. He's a little bit stubborn on sit, but that's one thing about this breed here is they're a little bit more difficult to train than most breeds because they are problem solvers. They're more intelligent, I guess you could say. So they like to test you. But he's doing really good with it. Now, if you could see, I've got him up on a log to teach him whoa. You could use a log, you could use an old telephone pole or railroad tie. You want to use something that's somewhat skinny so that the dog has a little bit difficulties wanting to sit on it. Because that's one thing you'll notice when you start to teach a dog whoa, is they'll like to sit when you put them in that whoa position. And if you can get them up on something like this that's harder for them to sit on, you'll be a little bit more successful at teaching them that. Isn't that right, buddy? Here's a good boy. Here's a good boy. Here's a good boy. Yeah. Here's a good boy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Another thing, so you put him in the whoa or the sit or whatever position it is. Say I go whoa, and he moves up to here. You tell him no, whoa, put him back where he was. Don't repeat the command in the position he's at. You want to put him back exactly where he was before he moved. Heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. Boy, heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. Good boy. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. Good boy. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. Good. Good boy. Heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. No, heel. Heel. No, heel. Good. No, heel. Good boy. No, heel. No, heel. No, good. Heel. Sit. No, sit. Good. All right, guys, so heel. If you
noticed, I was using two markers, two trees. They're about, I don't know, about 10, 12 foot apart. Let me get a little closer. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. So I'm using these two trees as two markers for heel. Now, when you start teaching your dog heel, you don't want to teach them heel on a walk. You want to teach them in a 10 to 15 foot area. And if you noticed, when I started, I was doing inside corners. So the dog was on the inside of me, between me and the marker. Those are easier for the dog to learn. So start out with inside turns. Now, no, sit. Now, once they kind of figure that out, you can start doing figure eight. So you're doing one inside turn and one outside turn, where the dog is on the outside of you and the marker is on your inside. And then do that for a while. And once they start figuring that out, then you can switch over and start doing all outside corners or outside turns. And then you can start mixing it up. So you can do all inside turns, and then do figure eights, and then do outside turns. Once they've started to figure out heel, you can start doing that. Now, anytime your dog is not paying attention to you, so he puts his nose down to try to smell something, or he's looking off in the distance, you need to tell that dog, no, heel. And then give a couple tugs on the leash whichever way his head is turning. And don't use a harness, because with a leash, have them on a harness, the dog can pretty much do whatever it wants. If you have them on a collar with a leash, you're now directing the head of the dog. You direct the head of the dog, you control the head of the dog. So let me show you this one more time. You ready, bud? Huh? You ready? Come on. Heel. Now, if you notice, I'm getting to the turn here. I'm going to anticipate that. No, heel. No, heel. Good. So if you saw there, once I got close to the turn, I went ahead and said no, heel. I'm anticipating him wanting to keep going straight. So I'm going to tell him no, heel, so that he starts paying attention to me as I turn, so he turns with me. You want to do that when you're teaching him heel. Every time you get to the end, you want to anticipate that turn and tell them no, heel. Even if they're going to go ahead and heel anyway, you want to go ahead and use the no, heel to anticipate that turn, so that your dog is learning a little bit quicker. Now we're going to do some outside corners, or turns, excuse me. Good. No, heel, heel. No, heel. Boy, heel. No, heel. Heel. No, heel. So those are outside corners. You can see he has a little bit more difficulty doing the outside corners or turns than he does the inside turns. But you want to work on him with that. So you make sure that he's figured out the inside turns before you ever bring in the outside turns. You're just going to confuse the dog. You're not going to get any success. Isn't that right, Bubbles? Yeah, it's a good boy. It's a good boy. Yeah. It's a good boy. Now, with some dogs, he is not as bad as some other ones I've worked with. So, when you get him at heel, you know, after you give a command, you've got, I don't know, about a second and a half, or actually probably less than that, maybe like 1.2 or 1.3 seconds, to give positive or negative reinforcement. So if you tell him no, heel, and he heels, you need to almost almost immediately say, good boy, or good job. If you wait too long, the dog is already off somewhere else, and you might as well just shut your mouth and not say anything at all. With a lot of dogs, though, when you're working with them on heel, and you tell them something, like good boy or good girl, they get excited and they want to speed up. So you need to figure that out with whatever dog you're training. And some dogs, if you tell them good boy and they speed up, when you start teaching them heel, just don't say anything. Say no, heel, and they heel, and then keep your mouth shut. Don't say good or good boy because they're going to speed up. So you train each dog a little bit different. He's not as bad when I tell him good boy, but you want to make sure that if you're telling him no or good, do it within 1.2 or 1.3 seconds after you've given the command, if they've done it correctly or incorrectly. If you wait too long, just keep your mouth shut and don't say anything. That's right. Doesn't he look good with his little bandana? I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you look good with your bandana. So I'm going to show you the figure eights now. I'm sure you've already seen them, but I'm going to go ahead and show them to you anyway. Heel. Go. Heel. Heel. No, heel. Good. No, heel. Boy. No, heel. Go. No, heel. Heel. Boy. No, heel. Good. No, heel. Boy. No, heel. Good. No, heel. Heel. Good. Sit. Good boy. That's a good boy. You did a good job. Yeah, you did a good job. Good job. Good boy. He's a good boy, huh? He's a good boy, honey. He's a good boy. So those are your figure eights. Those are your three basic techniques on teaching heel. Make sure you only do it in a 10 to 15 foot area. Start with inside turns, switch it up to figure eights, and then switch it up to outside turns, and then just mix and match after they started to figure it out. Keep that dog constantly learning. Don't get them in a rut of constant success. Once they start figuring something out, no. Once they start figuring something out, start switching it up. Try to get that dog to screw up so you can correct them out of it, because they're going to learn a lot better that way by making mistakes than they are if you're constantly doing the same thing repetitively and they're getting it right all the time. Once they figure it out, you just start trying to mix it up and try to confuse that dog and make them make a mistake so you can correct them out of it. They learn a lot quicker than they would any other way. And don't use food, ever.
Yep. Up. Up. Heel. Up. Heel. Heel. Up. 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 Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. No, whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. 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 Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. No. Whoa. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Here. Whoa.
So I've got a few more tips for you guys. So you noticed after I put him in whoa, I was walking around him with the leash. When you start out, you put him in position. When you first are teaching them it, don't move at all. Once they've started to figure it out a little bit, start walking around him in a circle. Do tight circles first and slowly start getting further away from the dog. Then once they've really figured it out, sit. Good. See what I mean about how hard it is for them to sit on a log like this? They'd rather stand than sit. So once they've started figuring that out, once they started figuring that out, go ahead and drop the leash and start increasing the circle distance that you're walking around them at. And make sure, so if you're doing that, you're telling them, whoa, good boy, whoa, good boy. If they're not looking at you, tell them no, whoa, or no, sit. You want that dog always paying attention to you. But start increasing the distance that you get away from the dog on the commands that you're giving them. Right, buddies. Yeah. That's right. That's right. But start with the leash still in your hand, walking around them, and then drop the leash after they've started figuring it out a little bit, and increase that distance that you're walking around. Let me show this to you again real quick. Heel. Heel. No, heel. Up. On it. Up. Up. No, up. Up. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. No. No. Heel. Heel. Up. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. See, I've still got the leash in my hand. Whoa. Good. His head's paying attention to me. That's what you want. No. Whoa. Whoa. Start figuring out. Go ahead and drop that leash. No. Whoa. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. No. No. See what I mean? He's not really ready for me to drop the leash yet. Come on, up. Whoa. Whoa. Boy, whoa. Good. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. 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 Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Do things like squat down. Whoa. Good. Whoa. A lot of times this will excite the dog when you get down on their level. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Well, no. No. Up. Up. Whoa. See what I mean? He's not quite ready for me to drop the leash yet. He gets too far away from it. But he's getting there. Another thing, when you start teaching them, things like sit and whoa, there are hand commands for it. Now, let's get a little closer. Whoa. So, hand commands, it doesn't really matter what you're using, just as long as you're consistent with it. I do this for sit, and I do this for whoa, and I do this for down, or if I'm telling them to come here to a certain spot, I'll do the same thing. It doesn't matter what you use, it's all up to you, just as long as you are consistent with whatever hand commands you're using when you are telling the verbal commands to the dog. But I would highly suggest that you use hand commands too when you're teaching the dog. That way, once that dog has figured everything out, you know, say, because he's going to be a bush dog, right? So there may be times that we're out in the woods like this, and I see something, you know, say I'm out hunting and I've got him with me, and I see a rabbit or whatever it may be, and I don't want him to go after it because I'm going to try to shoot it. But I don't want to say a verbal command that may spook that animal. So I'm going to use hand commands, you know, sit or whoa, once he's figured those out, so I don't have to say anything. I'm not going to spook that animal. I just give him a whoa hand command, and he whoas and stays in that whoa position, and then I shoot whatever animal I'm going after, and then I tell him, you know, something like, hunt him up, go get it. And he goes after it, and he goes and gets it for me. Right, Bumpus. Yeah, so good boy. So good boy. So good boy. Yeah, you did really good today. You did really good today. Also, when you're training your dog, don't do it in a very active place. So don't do it somewhere where you've got other people, other dogs, other animals, distractions. You don't want to start training your dog where they're going to have a lot of distractions. Go somewhere where it's just you and the dog, nothing else. That's where you work your dog. Now, once they've started figuring things out, no. Once they've started figuring things out, no. Once they've started, for the third time, once they've started figuring things out, then you want to bring in those distractions to try to screw that dog up so that you can correct them out of it. But starting out, make sure it's just you, the dog, and no distractions at all. You want the dog 100% focused on you the entire time. Isn't that right, honey? You're a good boy. You're a good boy, huh?
Here. Up. Up. Good. Up. Up. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Here. Here. On it. Here. Whoa. Whoa. Another tip for you guys. No, whoa. Another tip for you guys. So, with your positive reinforcement. So, you know, say you tell your dog whoa and he whoas, you know, tell him good or good boy. If he's doing it really good, be like, oh, good boy, he's a good boy. But don't use there's different levels to your positive reinforcement. So, you know, if you tell the dog good, most likely he's done it bad 1 or 2 times before, or right at that instant, you know, you've told him to sit, he hasn't sat. You say, no, sit. Then he sits. Just tell him good. Now, say you go sit, and he sits the first time, then you do something like, oh, good boy, you know, maybe pet him some, oh, good boy, just a good boy. If it takes you 2 or 3 times when you say it, you know, just tell him good or good boy. Don't touch him. There's different levels to the positive reinforcement, and depending on how the dog is doing, you want to use those different levels. So if you tell him sit and he sits on the first time, you know, maybe, good boy, he's a good boy. If you tell him sit, he doesn't sit, no, sit. And then he sits, just say, oh, good boy, but don't touch him. If you're just telling him sit and he doesn't sit, you say, no, sit. He still doesn't sit. Hanu, no, sit. And then you have to actually physically push him down, just say good. And that helps the dog figure out those commands a lot quicker than if every time he sits, you're just like, oh, good boy, you sat, you're such a good boy, you're such a good boy. So there's different levels to
to the positive reinforcement. Now, as far as no goes, there are a couple levels. So, no is obviously just a normal level. Then you can raise your voice a little bit. So, say you tell him sit, he doesn't sit. No, sit, still doesn't sit. No, sit, still doesn't sit. Hanu, no, sit. And then he sits. So there's also different levels to your negative reinforcement. But you want to use in your voice that bring your voice up depending on how good the dog's doing, so that he starts to figure out, that if he's doing a really good job, that he's going to get some really good positive reinforcement behind it. So, you tell him to sit, and he sits. Oh, good boy, that's such a good boy. It's a good boy. If you've had to tell him a few times, sit, and then he finally sits, just say something like good. That way he knows he was not doing it correctly. And he knows there's different levels to how he is reacting and performing to how you are going to give him that positive reinforcement. Isn't that right, Bugs? Yeah, that's a good boy. Doesn't he look like an old man? He's got this white snout. See, the thing with healers, most healers have a mask, right? Well, he has, I would say, a quarter mask. So he's got cuts down here, right above his eye here. He doesn't quite have a mask at all. And then a no mask healer is actually pretty rare. A lot of people are no masked healers. Apologies, guys, you fell over. But yeah, a lot of people look for no masked healers. Well, he's got about a quarter mask, so he's actually pretty rare compared to a lot of healers. And if you look there, you can see he's eating something. Well, he just found a couple slugs down in there. It's a good boy. Nope, sit. So guys, I got a tip for you. So, say you've got a dog that is, say you've got a dog that is frightful of thunder, or when another dog is around you, no, sit. When another dog is around, that dog gets really excited, wants to go after that dog. Do not encourage that dog. So, no, sit. So say he's getting real excited because there's another dog coming. Don't be like, oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. All you're doing is encouraging that dog to get excited every time that there is another dog or another person or whatever it is around. So if you've got the dog that's getting excited when another dog's coming up to it, you need to already be saying no and give it a command, sit or down or whoa, it doesn't matter what it is, but make sure you're saying no, sit, no, sit. Do not encourage that dog by giving it, babying it. Oh, it's okay, Bubba, it's okay, or oh, it's okay, be a good boy, it's okay, because all you're doing is encouraging that dog and training it to do that every time it sees another dog or another human or a squirrel or whatever it is that you don't want the dog to go after. Don't, oh, it's okay, or during thunder or something, oh, it's okay. No, just tell it no and give it a command. And that will teach that dog to not be scared or frightful or anxious of whatever it is that's interacting with it at that time. Yep. Boy, heel. Another quick tip for you guys, and then we're going to call it a day. So anytime, no matter what the age of your dog, anytime you are walking your dog, taking it out to go to the bathroom, whatever, always have a leash on that dog. Even if always have a leash on your dog. But every time you are holding the leash, make sure that dog is always on your left side. That gets that dog to always get used to being on your left side. It should never be on your right side unless you have a command, say right or to the side or something like that. Say, especially with say a bush dog or something, when you're out somewhere and say you've got a cliff on this side, but you want to be looking down the cliff, but you don't want the dog between you and the cliff, that's when you would use a command to have the dog heel on your right side. But other than that, always, always, always have the dog on your left side 100% of the time. They need to get used to always being on this side. It's tradition. And they need to get used to it. So always, anytime, no matter the age of the dog, no matter what you're doing, if you've got a leash on your dog and you are holding that leash, that dog needs to be on this side of you, not this side, not out in front, not behind you. Always use a leather leash, 6-foot leather leash. This is the traditional training leash. There is another type of leash that is a synthetic type of leather, but with a leather training leash, it has the correct action. So you don't want a nylon leash or something that's going to stretch. You want a 6-foot leather leash at all times. It has the correct action that you need. No, sit. It has the correct action that you need, and if you use anything else, you're just going to have more difficulties training your dog. I know it sounds kind of stupid or redundant. No, sit. It sounds kind of stupid or redundant, but trust me, using a 6-foot leather leash will make your dog way more compliant than if you use anything else. Alright guys, so I have another tip for you. See how he's really excited right now? Okay? Don't touch him. Don't let him on you. Don't touch him. Once he calms down, on it here. Here. No. Once he calms down, then you can pet him. If he's excited like this, no, don't touch him. You're just going to encourage him to always be excited. No. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Good. Now he's calm. Go ahead and pet him. If he starts getting excited again, take your hands off. No. 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 Good. Good. Boy. So that's my last tip for you guys. So hope you enjoyed. Make sure you work with your dogs. Doesn't matter the breed. Just make sure you put in the time. No. Make sure you put in the time at least twice a day. At least twice a day. I would suggest more than that. And work with your dog, or else you're going to have a mess on your hands. Heel. Heel. No, heel.